It's Accountech Bytes, your compact compendium of the accounting tech world, bringing you the latest news, views, and analysis. I'm Tom Herbert. Welcome. And if you'd be so kind as to like, subscribe, or follow if you find this useful, that would be great. On with the show. We start today with another hubristic claim from a technologist, this time in the form of Tom Blomfield, founder of digital bank Monzo, who took to the Rest is Money podcast to say that artificial intelligence will make income tax redundant within 5 years. Let's listen in, shall we?
Humans are not economically useful anymore. I think income tax will go away pretty soon.
No.
Being a senior lawyer or a senior doctor will seem like a joke.
So Blomfield's argument is that as traditional employment declines, the current system of income tax, which is largely dependent on wages, would no longer be sustainable, and instead it should be replaced by a tax on the resources used to build and run AI. He went on to say that in the near future, professions such as tax accounting will require almost no humans at all. This follows on from a similar call by AI giant OpenAI last week. This particular article from the Telegraph backs it up with a claim that, according to job site Adzuna, adverts for entry-level jobs fell by 35% compared to 2022. I'd say correlation doesn't always equal causation here, and there could be any number of reasons for this stat. While it is important to have discussions about the future of government revenue, I'm not convinced it's particularly healthy that it is being led by technologists who stand to gain the most from it. Well, here's an update from another of the big AI players, Perplexity, who come out with a new product that allows users to audit their Xero account financials. So Perplexity Computer connects to Xero and delivers a complete financial health audit, covering your P&L, balance sheet, cash flow, and expense categorization accuracy. So connecting to Xero and your accounting stack and taking actions on your behalf, like audit reconciliation, flagging miscategorized expenses, forecasting cash flow, etc. David Leary from the Accounting Podcast points out that they have also launched a site advertising a similar product for QuickBooks. He points out the AI models are watching what accountants and accounting software vendors are building and just copying it and building it directly into their platforms. As he says, I'd hate to be a third-party app developer building apps for QuickBooks, Xero, etc. right now. In a similar vein, I spoke to Lyndon Stickley, Chief Executive of mid-market cloud accounting platform iPlicit. While he believes that AI will fundamentally change finance software, there's a massive difference between the deterministic systems that we are used to using that function like a calculator or Excel and where the outputs are as accurate as the inputs allow, compared to this new wave of technology that are probabilistic. They're vast, powerful pattern recognition engines designed to predict the next piece of information. So while these new systems will add genuine value around things like invoice and expense capture, summarizing reports, or drafting emails, when it comes to filing a VAT return or supporting an audit trail, good enough isn't good enough. And so we're a long way from switching the general ledger over for those probabilistic tools. Tax and accounting provider Tax Systems has launched a new AI assistant, which it claims will transform cross-border tax intelligence. So this enables users to ask tax questions relating to more than 220 jurisdictions and multiple tax domains. And using it, tax professionals can carry out a range of tasks, including drafting and reviewing tax memos, analyzing contracts and documents, exploring, structuring scenarios, and validating existing advice, all within the Tax Systems platform. Here's one I wrote off the back of Sage's AI Roadshow in Bristol. You can still sign up for the London event on the 20th of April, link in the description, where Chris Downing, Zoe Whitman, and Joe Wood asked, if AI enables accountants to do the work quicker, where does the value sit? What are clients buying? So Sage's Chris Downing pointed to value or output-based pricing as the likely direction of travel away from time-based billing. And the panel talked about the firm's move away from data processor towards that fabled finance partner status. Here's one from across the pond, and NPR reports that penalties are stacking up as AI spreads through the legal system. So this article talks about the rapid increase in court sanctions against attorneys for filing briefs containing errors generated by AI tools. A researcher at business school HEC Paris has kept a worldwide tally and has counted more than 1,200 to date, 800 of which are from US courts. We've seen a couple of high-profile examples from tax cases here in the UK where AI has hallucinated precedents or cases that just don't exist, and I imagine we'll see plenty more before the year's out. In a similar vein, this piece from the Financial Times focuses on a spokesperson who doesn't exist, possibly. So, restructuring outfit Coots and Boots briefly hit the headlines last month after they were lined up to oversee the mammoth insolvency of Market Financial Solutions, the mortgage lender that collapsed, owing $2 billion to the biggest names on Wall Street. The FT dug into it and discovered Amelia Carriere, their lead for marketing and corporate comms, who appeared on the company's Our Team page. But according to the firm's reception desk, doesn't work at the company. And an online detection tool put the odds of her picture being computer generated at 97%. A week on from the story being published, her bio page has disappeared from the firm's site. Before we move away from AI Inglenook, here's a last plug for our webinar next week, in which myself and a trio of crack audit tech specialists discuss how to balance practical AI with professional judgment in audit. Again, you can sign up via a link in the description. Let's move on to other things now, and as the 2029 e-invoicing mandate approaches, Autumn Murphy from the ATT tackles an HMRC study that highlights a lack of understanding and low adoption in the technology. So the research flagged that 59% of SMEs said they were familiar with e-invoicing. That headline figure masked confusion about what e-invoicing actually is. Adoption also remains relatively low. Only 15% of the UK's SMEs send e-invoices, 24% receive them, and just 10% do both. We await the publication of the government's e-invoicing roadmap at the next budget with interest. And if you have a bit of time on your hands, the comments section is very entertaining. Here's one from City AM and Go Cardless, which is used by many firms to collect their fees, has cut 90 jobs as the UK fintech targets profitability. So Go Cardless, which was recently snapped up by Dutch payment giant Molly, made losses last year of 24 million compared to the previous year's 31 million, although turnover was up by 20 million to 155 million. Here's your weekly plug for our Accounting Excellence Awards. So it's designed to recognise the achievements of accounting firms, individuals, teams and projects from across the UK accounting profession. To see all the categories or enter, visit accountingexcellence.co.uk. Entries open till May. A quick pit stop at MTD Corner now, and Xero has released research that tells us 2 in 5 small businesses are not ready for the first Making Tax Digital for Income Tax deadline. So as a reminder, that first quarterly filing deadline is 7th of August, and the research found that 41% of small businesses, sole traders and landlords surveyed are not yet ready to comply with the new mandate. Let's round things off with some new stuff now, and Practice Management Plus tool Sodium has added a new client portal feature where clients can view documents, respond to requests, approve letters and access their information. Accounts receivable tool Adfin now allows users to preview adapted templates before sending, so allowing users to send personalized payment reminders from your own email address without adding manual work. Audit tool Inflow has partnered with InScope, an AI native finance reporting platform, to connect digital audits directly to automated financial statement preparation. practice management platform Uku now has note templates, so reusable note structures like meeting agendas, review forms, and onboarding checklists, which are now available when creating notes on clients, projects, and vendors. And finally, if you're looking for a bit of podcast action to see you through to the weekend, then the latest No Accounting for Taste podcast is here, where myself, Richard Hattersley, and Matthew Ord discuss Making Tax Digital's arrival, my trip to the NetSuite conference, OpenAI's move into tax policy, and some key insights from Matt's Inside the Numbers podcast. You can find that by searching for Accounting Web wherever you get your pods. And that's your lot for this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd be kind enough to like, subscribe, or follow, that would be great. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.